Hey everyone, welcome to Simble Things, a channel where I talk about living with C-PTSD, mental health issues and everything that goes along with that. And today's video fits into everything that goes along with that because I want to talk about being a person of colour and having mental health issues, because again, it's something that's not talked about a lot because people of colour issues are always like put down, and how that contributes to somebody's like mental health issues when you're black and you live in America. Like, so much writing about mental health doesn't take this into account, like so much writing about health about people of colour in general. So what can you do? And as people of colour, like, how can we protect ourselves as well? If you're a person of colour and you find it really hard to stay up to date with everything that's going on right now, it is okay to take a step back. You have to look after your own health, and only by being in good health yourself can you help other people of colour in general. You can't be part of the movement and support others without being okay yourself. So don't be afraid to step back. You don't need to see every bit of footage of somebody being murdered. You don't need to see it. You don't need to read every article on the subject. You don't need to see all the bit of news coverage. You don't need to watch those white news anchors talking nonsense about what's going on right now, because they have no idea, and because the media's never going to be able to talk about this issue in what is actually a neutral and constructive way, which they claim to be, but you know, they never are. It's never going to happen. We know we live in a structurally racist world. We know white privilege reigns supreme. These are just facts, and we have to live with that. And it's hard, and of course it affects our mental health in so many ways. And so many people that otherwise wouldn't have mental health issues have them because of having to deal with racism in their day-to-day lives and understanding the structural racism that underpins our world. And yeah, I said world, not just America, world. White privilege is worldwide, all right? So as people of colour with mental health issues, don't be afraid to not watch everything. It's okay to not see every detail. We know what's happening, but we also have to look after ourselves. So don't let anybody tell you that you're doing something wrong by not seeing every bit of footage of black people being murdered, because that's nonsense. It's not right. It's not right. So there's so many ways in which racism can trigger and even cause mental health issues. If you are always told by white people that every time you bring up a racist issue that you're being paranoid, if you're gaslit every time you bring something up, what's that going to do to your mental state? But that's what it's like for people of colour everywhere. Always being told by white people that what we construe as racist, oh, that wasn't so racist, or they were making a joke, or they don't really understand, or all the reasons which don't amount to anything. It's all rubbish. Trust yourself, have faith in yourself, because we know when we encounter that someone that you can't quite put your finger on it, but there's something wrong there and you know it. And then they'll say something that's kind of borderline and you're like, look, I know it, but then you try and talk about one of their other friends about it and they're probably white. And they're like, no, that's just how that person is. You're gaslit all the time in just trying to talk about these minor race issues. Just a minor thing. You know, because that's just about person-to-person interaction, where most of racism is about the structural stuff. This day-to-day stuff of just little interactions of being somebody saying something racist or whatever These are just reminders of the real issues, the reminders of how many black people are being killed by police in America. How many people of colour have been killed by police in the UK? These are issues that are brushed under the carpet whenever you try to talk to white people about race. So, people of colour, you don't have to talk to white people about race. If you don't want to, remember, you don't owe people an explanation of the situation of like racist issues in the world today, or an explanation of structural racism, or an explanation of white privilege, because they don't want to understand it, because they don't want to hear it. You don't owe anybody that. You need to look after your own mental health issues, and sometimes that does mean cutting somebody off. Maybe even it's a friend, but they're just asking, like, they can do their own research, and it's okay to tell them that. It's okay to do that, because you as a person of colour do not have a responsibility to educate white people about race. It's up to them to educate themselves, if they're bothered enough, right? So we have to look after ourselves. We have to be in a fit enough mental state to be able to support other people of colour in the right way. And if we don't have good mental health ourselves, we can't be the right ally. We can't be the right person in that situation to really support other people in the way we want to and we need to. So protect yourselves. It's okay to shield yourselves from certain things. That's all right. Because, this is the thing with being a person of colour, right? Everything is magnified. Everything. So if you have mental health issues, and you might have the same mental health condition as a white person, but it's always magnified because there's all these extra things that we have to deal with. And all these extra things are always much more triggers for our mental health conditions that are going to exacerbate our mental health conditions all the time. And that's how it goes. So if you're a white person watching this and you think, well, I want to help people of colour, I want to not cause detriment to their mental health, I want to be there for them, I want to be that ally. Well, firstly, educate yourselves, because you need to. And I'll put links to some resources in the description for sure. I might flash some stuff up on screen. But yeah, like, it's one of them times where I wasn't sure about making a video. I didn't really want to make a video this week, but then I thought about this subject and it needs to be talked about because people don't want to. And I know this video is going to be a bit of a mess because I didn't really plan it, and I don't know if I can like sit and write out all the things, because it makes it worse detailing it, doesn't it? It's funny, the person who wrote the book, Why I Can't Talk to White People About Race, I remember reading the introduction, they were saying the irony is that after writing that book, they have to talk to white people about race more than ever. Sitting there and detailing these things don't often make it better. It does make it worse. It makes it harder. But that's the world we have to live in. Therefore, we have to do what we can to protect ourselves and our own health. So, be kind to yourself, please. Because a whole lot of other people aren't going to be. So you need to be the cushion around yourself against that. Against all of that, because otherwise, how do you cope day to day? How do you keep it together? How do you keep going on? You have to protect yourself, you have to shield yourself, You know where things are at, so yeah, be kind to yourselves, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. If you're a white person, try not to be so racist. Try to educate yourself about what white privilege really means and how far-ranging it is. Because the thing that people often forget about white privilege is white people go, well, I don't know about this privilege, and this is the point, is that it's invisible. If it wasn't invisible, it wouldn't be so hard for us to be able to relate this issue and for people to understand it. It's because you don't experience all these encounters day to day that gives you that privilege. But it's like, how do I explain to you there's all these things not happening to you because of your race? And then you go, oh, okay. But you don't understand how far-ranging that is, because it gets into every aspect of life. Yeah. Sorry if this video is a bit higgledy-piggledy and a bit of a mess, but that's where it's at. It's probably going to be like a day late as well. But I'm getting it out there. Swing between not wanting to make videos because there's so much going on, but then I feel like I want to keep making videos and keep trying to support. But yeah, it's hard. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to other people if they deserve it. If they don't, block that out of your life. Be well. Remember, there is help out there. Put some links down below. Peace.